there, it's Pam Ennis, and you are watching The Beat, the place to be to create the life you love, where we teach you how to win. In simple terms, how to beat the game of life. If you or anyone you know is struggling to figure out why life is so challenging, why can't I get ahead? Why do I continuously deal with the same thing year in and year out? Whether that be relationships, career, money, health and wellness, well, you're in the right place. So sit tight and we will be right back with some life-changing success tools on The Beat. Welcome back. I'm Pam Ennis, and I'm so excited that you're joining us today here on The Beat. The Beat is the place where we teach you practical strategies and concepts to create a balanced, empowered, action-packed, and transformed life. On today's show, we're talking about balance. Being out of balance can wreak havoc in our lives and affect every domain, our families, our jobs, our spiritual walk, and overall our well-being. Are you always helping others at the cost of your own well-being? If you're giving and not getting enough back, it's time to find balance, and we're going to show you how in 4 simple but powerful steps. Let's start with the most important step. This is actually the most important step in any area of success in life. Clarity. Clarify your needs. Keep a list of the things that you want from life. Know what you really value and live your values. When you are clear about what's truly important to you, then you won't let your day be driven by randomness and other people's agenda. Most of the time we experience burnout, it's really because we say yes too much. Stop saying yes to everything. It's time that we learn how to prioritize what really matters most. Decide why you need more balance and what it means to you. That's clarity. You need to know why it's important to you. What would you do if you had more balance in life? How would that define who you are as a person? Think about it, write it down, describe in detail. What would that feel like? If you are unclear in these areas, it's impossible to achieve more balance. You have to protect your time. And in order to do that, you have to define a goal for your life. No goal, no growth, no balance. I'll repeat that again. No goal, no growth, no balance. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm your host, Pam Ennis, and you are watching The Beat. The Beat is the place to be to create the life you love, where we teach you how to win, or in simple terms, how to beat the game of life. Today, we are talking about balance. If people are constantly asking you for help because you're good at what you do, sometimes that can make us feel good and make us feel that we're needed and that people trust us. But sometimes that simply means that people are being lazy and that people are taking advantage of you. If you find yourself doing 100 different things, you're all over the place, you have no direction, then you really need to think about if you're doing things that matter, if you're doing things that add value to who you are. Because otherwise, what looks like an important job, you're really not being a contributor the way you think you could be a contributor. So what are some ways you add the most value? That's what you really have to ask yourself. What is it that I can do that add most value to the situation? What can I bring to the table that no one else can do? And that's where you give your attention. Eliminate everything else, even if it's your family, even if it's your friends, even if it's a relationship. Pay attention to your attention. Always pay attention to where you're giving your attention and eliminate those things that do not matter. We want to start saying no, and we want to say no early, and we want to say no often. When you get a request that is not aligned with your priorities, that is not aligned with where you add the most value for your purpose in life, then your immediate answer should be no. Unless you or the other party can justify or convince you that this is where you're needed and you can add value, then your answer should be no. Simply put, just stop saying yes to everything. Every time you say yes, you tack something onto your agenda. And it always takes away from something else. Let me make it a little bit more simple for you. If you lose hours of your life pleasing people or responding to people's false emergencies and people's agenda, then your life will quickly fall out of balance, which is what we're talking about. Imagine that all of your yeses to others are like handing out hours to people that you will never get back. Learn to say no, and do not apologize for saying no. Tell people that you already have something planned. Tell people that you had something planned weeks ago, months ago. You're not telling a lie, because if you have clarity and you know what's important to you and what adds value to you, you do have something else to do. You need to be about giving attention to those things that are important to you. Another area that takes us off balance are distractions. We need to remove distractions, because most people at the end of the day, they're not really out of balance. They're often distracted. Television, the 5th season of Netflix, the internet, social network takes hours away, weeks away, years away, life wasted. So get rid of those things that aren't really adding value or depth or joy to your life. Free up your time. The Facebook, the spending hours on Facebook with little smiley faces. If you need friends, go out and spend time with real people that offer value to your life. Smiley faces on the internet are not real people. I know these things sound simple, but these are powerful strategies. I want you to give them a lot of thought, because they will change your life. We'll be back in a minute. This is Pam Ennis with The Beat. Welcome back. Before we went to commercial break, we talked about 4 ways to immediately create a more balanced life. Clarity about what you want out of life, and what would you do if you had more balance. We talked about saying no. Stop saying yes to everything. Be okay with saying no. We talked about removing distractions. Get real friends if you really want friends. Stay off of the internet. Stay off of television. Get some of your hours back. And now we come to the 4th and the second most important tip on how to achieve balance. And that is doing a weekly self-talk. Every week, you choose a day to reflect on whether or not you protected your boundaries. You see, having boundaries are necessary for success. And by actually tracking your boundaries, you'll start to see patterns of where you compromise often. You also get more committed to protecting your time and your sanity. Be honest about what you're doing, the value it's adding, and how much passion you feel towards it. and what you really want in life. If you focus on clarity, clarity means writing down some of the things that you really want out of life. And I'm going to give you a really simple step, a really simple thing to do. I want you to get your phone, and I want you to get your calendar, and I want you to think about 3 clarity statements, 3 things that you would do if you had more balance. How would you feel? For example, for me, when I'm in balance, I feel vibrant. Vibrant is the term that I need to feel to be my best self. When I'm in balance, I love to laugh. I love to laugh. So for me, it's vibrancy, it's laughter. And the third thing, when I'm in balance, I love to feel financially secure. Does that mean that I have all the money in the world? No, it does not. But I don't like the feeling of having bill collectors calling me and owing people. So for me, my 3 clarity statements around balance are vibrancy, laughter, financial security. So you think about what your 3 clarity statements are. Get your cell phone, go to your alarm clock, set an alarm 3 times a day. Set it to go off in the morning, set it to go off midday, and set it to go out in the evening. And you put those 3 things for that alarm. So when that alarm goes off, you will see your 3 clarity statements 3 times a day until it becomes a part of who you are. For just say no, here's some things you can do. When a family member or a friend asks you to put on an event or ask you, do you want to go out to dinner? That's a common thing. A common thing is people contact you and say, hey, I'm going to the movie. Do you want to go? And for those of us who don't know how to say no, we normally just go with the flow. Well, here's the deal. Even if you don't have anything on your schedule, even if you don't have everything planned, don't allow, I want you to start a practice. Do not say yes out the gate. Say, let me get back to you. If you don't want to say no, say, let me get back to you. That will give you time to go back, look at your clarity statements, and determine, do I have time to go out with my friend this week? And even if you don't have anything penciled in, think about what your goals are. Perhaps you want to read a book. Perhaps it's personal development. If you have true goals and you're working towards a bigger goal, a better version of yourself, you should always have something to do. You should never be in a place where you don't have anything to do. So you think about that person. Another thing I want you to do before you say yes, when someone asks you to do something, I want you to think about, how does that person make you feel? What type of experience are you going to get from hanging out with that person or from doing that task? If that person does not make you feel like your best self, if you're not going to get those attributes that you defined in your clarity statement. So for me, I have to laugh, I have to feel financially free, and I have to feel vibrant. So what does that mean? That means if someone from whether it's from my church, because church people can be draining too, or whether it's a friend, or whether it's a business or a colleague, if they ask me to commit or am I available, I think about how that experience makes me feel. If that's a negative person, if that person drains me and is going to keep me from feeling vibrant, that's an easy no. So practice that. And in order to practice that, you have to be aware. For the 3rd step in removing distractions, always look at what's on the table, what do you have planned for yourself versus, do I want to watch a season of Netflix? Or do I want to maybe tape something and I can go back and watch it in my free time if what? If it meets my clarity statements. We want to be intentional about everything that we do. That's how we achieve balance. Thank you for watching. These are simple steps, but they're very powerful. They're very life-changing. We'll see you next time on The Beat.